Aloha, love, family of Earth. Tonight we're asking, are we truly ready for contact with beings from other planets or higher consciousness? According to channeled messages from Ra, Quo, Bashar, the Pleiadians, the answer isn't simple, but it's beautiful. Let's go ahead and dive in, shall we? If you have ever been contacted, or if you've ever felt like contact is coming closer, and it will happen in our lifetime, there are a few key teachings. In Ra, the Law of One. Integration is vibrational alignment, not physical proof. I really like Ra, Law of One. It's what originally woke me up to the reality of interconnectivity. If you have any stories, you can definitely come up and speak. This here is a crystal skull, this picture. Try and give you a better view of it. The top of it you see is a pharaoh type figure with the sigil. My friend showed me this, and so I was like, hey, let's talk about it. Let's get into the subject and see if other people have felt some sort of contact. I have one other image that he shared with me of this crystal skull. Side view here. Very interesting artifact. In Ra's perspective, Ra constantly describes humanity, consistently, over and over and over, describing humanity as being in the end of third density. We are in third and fourth density currently. Welcome in, my friends. Definitely are able to come up if you'd like, and we can talk about it. We're at the end of the third density, a stage of self-awareness and polarity development. Readiness depends on polarity. Integration is tied to the harvest, the point at which enough beings polarize or choose towards either service to others, which is unity, or service to self, which is separation. The current state, according to Ra session 13.23 in the 1980s, Earth is, quote, in a state of planetary transition, end quote, with many not yet consciously aware of unity. There are waves of wanderers, like myself, volunteers, like myself, are here to aid in this shift. The key quote, welcome in, peace. The harvest is now. There is, at this time, much confusion. Those who truly seek shall find the door opened. This is in Ra, channel material 6.15, 6.15. Humanity is not ready. Why not? I'd love to hear your perspective. Earth is in a state of planetary transition. The harvest is now. There is, at this time, much confusion. This suggests the integration is not automatic. It requires active seeking and readiness. Can't handle other cultures, let alone extraterrestrials. Well, there is birthing pains before change, before powerful change can happen. So think of it this way. If we move towards self-reflection, we will be able to integrate. Those of fifth density view the integration of third density civilizations as a joining of vibration rather than a meeting of forms. So once we truly know who we are, then they will be ready to contact us. But as we continue to go externally to prove ourselves or to discover ourselves, they will stay at a distance. If we are able to integrate with each other, then they will integrate with us. Quo says, your people yearn for what they call disclosure, quote, yet contact awaits the disclosure of the heart, a willingness to see all beings as self. Integration is vibrational alignment, not physical proof. I'll flip this around real quick. What's up, people? I'm right here. I just don't want to take up this image because it's a cool crystal skull here. Welcome in. You guys are definitely able to request up if you would like. And we can talk further about this subject. What does it mean to have vibrational alignment? Ra doesn't want us to have physical proof of anything. Us searching for more things, us trying to create more things, will never be the answer. Heart translates with in all ways, yes. The heart is what we need. The heart is what people are missing. The heart is what is not being taught to children. The heart is what most adults do not know. This is why integration cannot happen as of yet. But when you have contact with these extraterrestrials, they are more trying to open your mind to search, to look outside of what you've been looking for, to go inward to what's inside, because it is truly what's inside that is going to make the difference for us to integrate. You guys don't like this music? Let me just change it for you. How about that? What does fresh do? Here we go. Contact awaits the disclosure of the heart, not government. You think that the government is controlling not the aliens not coming here? That is a big misconception. Oh, geez, look at this. This is interesting music. Let's see what else we got. We got some jazz here. One of the things aliens channeled to me is that we need to have more joy, and that will help unlock integration. Singing songs, going out in nature, playing in the grass, being a human, not just building and building and building and just spending our whole lives just building, new. No more new. It is now time to go inward. Many people are realizing that we must go inward in order to make contact with these extraterrestrials. They have already contacted me because I am of their group. I am a wanderer, as they call them. So I'm here to contact all of you and to help you know the truth of who you are and what is required for integration. What's required for integration? A change of heart. A realization that your heart exists. Correct. Shadow work. The darkness. True integration lies in the darkness when you close your eyes. It is your eyelids. Hey, how's it? Thank you. It is your eyelids that are going to open the truth. as you keep looking with your two eyes for everything. You could close them and look with your third eye. We have a couple of requests up here. Double standard.
Weren't you live like a
Hello.
couple hours ago?
I go live all the time, bro. I used to do 15-hour lives, but now I break them up into separate sections.
Do you go to sleep like for 1 or 2 hours in the 24 hours? Like, how do you do this?
I sleep for 5 hours, but where I'm at, it's only 8:25 right now.
Oh, I see. Okay, okay. Well, welcome back to reality. Is humanity ready for integration? I think so, man. Like, this is not
What
something
are
that
we
you.
integrating with?
Let's integrate with the artifacts here on this picture. Like, if we talk about, these ancient Egyptian relics that they're stashing down in these, like, what's it called? These places. Because listen, we did not uncover everything of the pyramids. There are some places that we probably can't go because it is a trap of some sort. But isn't that the beauty of things? Because like we never know if we're gonna like step on the wrong thing or like I love that. Like when it feels like it's Indiana Jones or what's that movie? The one with
Indiana
the
Jones
last
was
level.
just Indiana Jones was just a prophecy or a message. This is one of the crystal skulls found by an archaeologist of the current light workers. He
Mm,
understands himself deep in his heart, so he is able to know his true purpose.
yeah.
Everybody has a
Were,
true purpose.
were these light workers created?
No, they were born. Everybody is created by their parents, though.
Okay.
Your creator
Well,
is your mom and your dad.
so are they? So they're creatures. They were created.
They're creators, my
They're
friend.
created by their parents.
Okay. Great. Well, so is there
Everybody
like?
is of starseed. Everybody is of starseed.
What does that mean?
So, a long time ago, there was the creation of this realm. It exploded from space, right? And it
Hmm.
created what we have now. So,
According to who?
modern science.
What?
Well, okay, so it exploded and created the realm. How does that mean we're star seeds? What does that mean?
Yeah. What does starseed mean?
Basically, we're made of stardust. That's what the earth is made out of. I mean, that's what everything is made out of. But
Okay.
it's light. Light, basically, stars are light, right? Light, energy, frequency.
Right.
So
Sure.
everything is made of light, energy, frequency. We are in a wave world.
So are those atoms like wavelengths, like material things?
Atoms are made of protons, gluons, and quarks,
Well, all those
correct?
things are physical, right?
Those things, if you zoom in further, are made of light, energy, and wave and vibration.
It's all
At the
still
core, they are
physical.
nothing. They are not physical. You have to look at quantum science and you will find the answers. You can ask AI if you would like. AI is a brilliant tool of all Earth knowledge
So
combined into one
non-physical
infinite.
things make up the physical world.
Correct. We live in an illusionary world that
So
is
when
all
does it?
connected.
So it's an illusion now.
It has always been an illusion, unfortunately. Welcome to the new world.
So why do I want to integrate into an illusion? That doesn't make any sense.
You don't integrate. You integrate with yourself. Once you understand yourself, you will integrate.
But
Until
it
you
seems like I don't
choose,
exist, though.
that's fine. You can choose to view life that way. There is no
I mean, no,
wrong
you
answer.
said I don't exist, basically. Do I
That is
exist?
your choice. That is your choice to perceive it that way. Language
No.
is
Well, no, I'm
very
asking you.
strange. Language is full of miscommunications uh, and misconceptions.
Okay, is there absolute truth? Like, where did absolute truth come from? Where did the concept of truth come from in this like starseed world?
Go ahead. If you want to answer some questions, you can.
I'm just a little bit confused because the says, "Are we ready for integration?"
Right.
So are you suggesting that like we're going to integrate with another species, or what does this mean?
Well,
Well, because
some people have already integrated, such as myself. And some people are still locked in them and their own emotions of fear, of power, of control, of wanting their own will. The first step to integration is being grateful for your surroundings. The second step would be appreciating everything around you. The third step would be double standard. You put your phone in your pocket.
Oh, sorry.
Wait, wouldn't you have just integrated into all those other things and not integrated into fear? What's wrong with integrating into fear? Why is fear bad?
Well, if you enjoy it, then you can spend your time doing it. Time is very valuable. You're never going to get it back. You just have the now moment. So if you want to
Wait, does
spend the
time
now moment in
exist?
fear, it does not. It is an illusion.
Okay, so how am I stuck in an illusion?
Because it's fun. It's exciting. It's an experience. You get to separate from everything and forget everything, and then you get to relearn it and come back together with everything.
Right, but that is an illusion. So even being separate or together is all. It doesn't make sense. Why would I?
Correct.
Right. So it seems like I'm already integrated then.
Do you know what your purpose is?
There's no purpose.
Then you have not integrated.
How would I know what my purpose is?
By going inward to yourself,
But there is no inward to go.
there is. There is still
Is there
inward.
an objective
It's
purpose?
just the inward is not physical. You're getting stuck on the physical too much. You can't go inward into your organs. That would be silly.
I didn't say that I would do that. Is there an objective purpose? Does everybody have an objective purpose?
Everybody has a specifically different purpose, just like everybody's faces are different. Everybody's fingerprints are somewhat different. Everything about everybody is a little bit different. Even though you find similarities with some people, everybody is different. Therefore, everybody has a little bit of a different purpose. It makes
Like,
this organic, poetic world very beautiful. Why do you
what
think
would be
there's so
like an
many
example
poets?
of somebody's purpose?
My purpose is a messenger.
Well, to tell people to integrate.
Love, to love themselves, to have joy, and to do the things they love to do. For me, I love surfing, so I surf every morning at 5 a.m. I love dream journaling, so I dream every night, and I write down my dreams. Sometimes they're 5-day long dreams in Earth world time. Um, I like hanging out with my wife, who I've been married to for 14 years here coming up.
Do you have
We like
kids?
going on hikes. I've been a therapeutic foster parent, but no, I came from a 12 family. My father has 14 children. My mother had 12 of them. And so I do not have children. But I have worked with children since I was basically 12 years old and
So you're
was
not,
aged
not
out
going to
of
have
Sunday
kids
school.
because you came from a big family?
I'm not going to have kids because I want to more enjoy my life and be a messenger for people. It is not my job or my wife's job to have children, and she does not want children. And I honor and respect her wishes.
Well, isn't it kind of women's purpose to have children?
No, it is not women's purpose to have children.
So whose responsibility is it to have children?
The women that feel that it's their purpose to have children.
Right, but women were kind of designed to have children, right?
We are all XX chromosomes, and then we choose the XY at some point to be a male. So everybody is female. So you and everybody and
I'm
everything
just
is
going
female
based off like
until it
pure.
changes to XY.
I'm going based off of like purely biological, physical traits. Women have outwardly, and their body is formed for the ability to have children.
Isn't it weird though that women have the power to conceive and not men?
Right. I mean, right. They just like are built for being mothers. They're
They're
not
It
really
built
is
for.
built for like.
It is part of the duality world. Everything is duality.
Do they have
But
different
everybody
body
has
parts?
but everybody has estrogen, and they have
I'm not saying that stuff, but I'm saying men don't really. We don't. Our purpose isn't to
testosterone.
have children.
Yeah, bloating for us is pregnancy for them. Like,
Right. We move stuff around. We lift things.
We are the doers. They are the
Right.
creators. But we are also the creators, and they are also the doers.
No, we're
They can
not. We
choose.
can't create without a woman.
We can't create children, but we can create structures like houses.
Yeah, but those are meaningless.
Okay, you sleep under the trees then.
I mean,
Wait,
yeah,
wait,
sleep under.
do we have the same organs as the opposite gender though?
When you are in your mother's womb, you are chosen the XX or the XY. At that time, that choice has been made. You're not a frog that can change genders. You are a human. Maybe next time you'll be a frog that can change genders. That could be fun, right?
Yeah, but the only difference in our organs is just the fact that we have different genitalia, you would say, right? Or do you differ?
The glands are much different. There's 7 glands that go up your spine, and they are different for each. A little bit different depending on who you are, but I'm not sure if they're that much different from male to female. I don't really get hung up on the anatomy. I don't keep that in my mind because I also live in this earth world, so I also forget things all the time, which is a fun part of this human existence. But we do have more panel members.
Yeah.
Moosh is in here. We also have Larimar, Goddess. Welcome in.
I was just gonna say that, yeah, we are instinctively wanting or trying to procreate. That doesn't mean that once we are alive, we choose to do that.
Right, but it is still your purpose whether you want to or not.
It is not. It is not their purpose.
Right.
That is a misconception.
Well, I mean, how is it not their purpose if that's what they're designed to do? Whether they choose to do it or not doesn't really matter.
So is you're only designed to put your thing inside of things constantly? That's your only purpose?
No, that's a trait.
It doesn't make sense. What you're saying then doesn't make sense.
No, it's a trait I have.
No, he's exactly correct. He's giving you an exact analogy for the way that you're speaking.
If you're viewing women as cattle, then you must view yourself as cattle too, with one purpose.
No, I didn't say
To
that.
serve
See,
the
I
other
have a
opposite
trait.
sex.
I have a trait that I
So
can.
we have a trait then as well.
Yeah,
Right, so it's a trait,
women have multiple traits.
I would imagine.
Yeah, their entire, I mean, from their whole monthly cycle is built around having children. And
And you have a 24-hour cycle. Are you aware of that?
right, but it's not designed around me having children.
No, that is your reproductive cycle,
A man is ready to have a child anytime.
which
Yeah,
is
I'm
why
ready
you
to
have a
bust a load.
24-hour cycle.
I'm
Right,
ready to bust a load in
We
anyone.
can bust load. Yeah, we can bust load at 3 a.m.
Right, so that must then be your purpose.
No, no, that's not true. Our bodies
Then why
aren't
would you say
designed
that?
to have children.
Why would you
I'm
say
saying-
that for the opposite sex then?
Because women's bodies from top to bottom
It's okay.
designed
have a
to make children.
What I would say is maybe go inward to yourself.
That's
And-
what I did, and I found that out.
No, you didn't.
How would you know?
You looked outwardly and saw that because you saw a female.
How would you know that?
What does it mean to go inward for you? What does it look like?
Well, even if it's different than your inwardness, how would you falsify what I'm saying?
Well, for one, you just admitted
you-
and said there is no inward, so I was
Well,
listening.
how would you know that my inward isn't the same as his? I'm just curious.
No, I'm
Because
listening
you
to
already
you.
said you don't have inward. We're using your own words, bro. We're not trying to fight with you. We're just trying to help you come to an awakening state.
Well,
That's
I'm
all.
just curious if you're the only one that kind of can tell whether somebody's been awakened or not.
No, I asked you earlier if you know your purpose, and you said no. So I'd be like, well, how would you be awakened if you don't even know your purpose?
How are you judging that I know my purpose or not? Even if I
I
said
asked you already, and you said no. But if you know your purpose now, then that's beautiful, man. I'm glad you were able to figure it out in these few minutes.
What I'm asking is, how would you falsify somebody's purpose or not? Doesn't matter what my purpose is. How would you falsify it?
I would never falsify it. Whatever you think is what your purpose is, that is okay for you to do whatever it is that you think you should do.
Okay, but so you wouldn't really be able to tell whether somebody's gone inward or not. It doesn't really. It's not
I would
really
be able to
something-
tell. Yeah, I would be able to tell. I'm an intuitive person. It's part of
Okay.
my gifting.
Okay.
I can tell by the tone of voice and the way if somebody's very combative or like argumentative, it normally means that they have some inner struggles that they haven't dealt with. Because when you go inward, you deal with everything inward, like all of your past traumas, all of your past issues, and you completely love everybody and you love yourself fully, and then you know exactly what your purpose is.
Didn't you say that you integrate with your darkness?
Correct. So you
Right.
can go through all of your traumas. That's your
So
darkness.
you are your dark side.
Yes, you are everything. You never want to take anything out of you. You just have to
But
understand what your emotions mean.
oh, okay. So what if I don't want to integrate with my evil side or even evil thoughts that I don't actually identify with?
That's fine. It's fine to just be whatever you want to be. No
So are you
worries.
more evil or less good? Or
There
like,
is no evil. There is no good. There is just choices in the moment, the right now moment. Because you can't go into the past and change anything. You can't go into the future and change anything for the future. You can only affect the right now moment with the choice to make your next speaking point or to make your next action. And they're going to push you to your next now moment. And now your next now moment is a culmination of all your past now moments. But if you dwell on those past now moments, it's going to cause you to not make the correct now moment. So you just need to focus on the now moment because it is the most valuable. It's the only thing you can affect.
you just described time. But
But
okay,
time, you can't go back in time or you can't go forward in time. You only have the right now moment with time. So time
right.
essentially
So
is
there is
somewhat of
no.
an illusion.
So from once you go inwards, there's no good or evil. So you can't morally. You can kind of do whatever you want.
But if you love everybody and you love yourself fully, how is that going to manifest into your life?
But you already said that there really isn't an evil or a good. It doesn't really matter.
Well,
My
you can
evil
choose,
can be
you can
other
choose
people's
to view it
good.
that way.
My
You can
good
choose
can be
to
other
view it
people's
that way.
evil, right?
But let's say that you love yourself and you love everybody around you. How would you act?
I mean, love is subjective. A parent can love their kid and feed him Pop Tarts and make him super unhealthy.
Yeah, I
Sure.
mean, that's that's not always true. He can work it off, but yeah, I mean, bad habits lead to bad consequences.
You could have toxic love, smother. So I wouldn't say love is a good litmus test for things.
It would be unconditional love. So you do things just out of complete love. And the same as like you love yourself and accept yourself fully, then now you can love the other person and accept them fully.
It's your mercy, really. The less merciful, the better you understand the things for what they are. I feel like we've grown as a society where we have to be merciful to people. That
Yeah.
is just uh, it's not us biting the bullet. It's really us just like doing more harm to ourselves than good.
True. I do want to let the other panel members speak. Helios, I definitely thank you for all of your many insights, and I appreciate your input. You are very wise and very brilliant, and I know that you're going to do amazing things. But I do have, I don't know who was first up here, Lori Marr or Moosh, but is humanity ready for integration? How would you answer this question?
I guess I'll
There's no
go
wrong
first.
answers. There's no wrong
I guess I'll go
answers.
first. So integration, as far, I'm just gonna go off of what I think it's what it means. Um, Humanity, I would like to think, could potentially be ready for integration if I don't think about the outside things that I'm seeing with, all the like war and stuff like that, right?
Okay.
I think that it's very complex and very like there's so many planes to it, in my opinion. But maybe that's not entirely true. Maybe we could all just like boom, be there all at the same moment. But I also don't know if that's true. Does that make sense? That sounds
Yeah, I
weird.
mean, I get what you're trying to say. Some men, what they like in a woman is style. Some men, what they like in a woman is their arrogance, things like that.
Oh no. Okay, wait. What are you guys talking about? Integration by what? But what kind of integration?
Like with like humanity, whether it's dating, life, anything.
Oh, I
Double
wasn't
standard is
talking about
talking about
dating. I was just talking about
yeah,
integration as in like just like being like fully united into like
a
I don't know.
harmonious human
Yeah.
consciousness.
Yeah. That's what I was like thinking about.
Double standard really wants a date, so that's just where he's
It's all,
always coming from.
that's fair, buddy.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
so fair.
I
I
am
get it, dude. I
very
get it.
horny around these late nights, 7:30 a.m. So
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. Um, but yeah, as far as like, yeah, like the collective consciousness and whatnot, I think that, yeah, there's just so many layers to it. It's really difficult to like, I think a sliver of humanity is definitely like on that, on that path. I just don't know how, like, how do we just like, like, boom, just like click everybody's like brain there. Like, how do you do that? I don't know.
Well,
Sorry,
go
if I
ahead.
may.
Yes, please. You are next.
Um, I've had a really interesting journey here for the past couple of years, specifically, and pretty intense. And I was working with somebody who was like almost desperately, I won't say desperately, that's a rude word, but we spent a lot of time um, connecting and he wasn't near me, but I knew like I used to host a lot of lives for my work, and so that's how we got introduced to one another. And I knew immediately, like, I'm like, oh, he's gonna be my teacher in some regard. Like I could just feel it, and so I spent a lot of time with him and vice versa. And there were moments. So this is interesting because there were moments he was like, bro, you're right at the threshold. But I also had some anxiety and some fear because I was getting a lot of stuff, I think, from him as well. But anyways, I want to say that there were a few moments where like I went into the grocery store once and I heard people talking, oh, we're getting another, this is going to sound insane, but we're getting another one, we're going to get another one, and this one's without alcohol. And like, I was like, oh, do not lose my shit in the middle of the grocery store. Like, get home and like, just keep your shit together. And so anyways, I didn't know exactly what kind of transition, right, that was happening, but part of me essentially has, I want to say, has so much anxiety or fear. Like, I don't know, I felt like I was coming into a choice where I almost had to leave. Like, I'm fine with, I've been evolving myself, we'll say. Some would say even more than others, and so, some people have said that, but I don't mean in a righteous way. I just mean I change a lot. But I was like, no, I like me. Like, that's the whole point, is like, I didn't want to let go of my individual constant, like, I liked my ego, essentially. Not, I mean, at times I'm super bored, like, I want to get over it, but then I'm like, no, I do love myself. Like, I want to stay. I don't want to, like, become this uniform consciousness and lose myself. Does that make sense?
Yes, I constantly am worried. Like, if I vibrate too high, then am I just gonna like, whoa, no, what's gonna happen? But I also don't have fear at all, really, because I feel like it's happened enough that I'm like totally fine. And but yeah, it's fun to go into those lower vibrations once in a while. Not fun, but
Yeah.
it's just kind of necessary to have that human experience. It's just, especially for like a man, I kind of go through them like almost every day, like pretty down low and then back up high. And for you, maybe it's like differently, like maybe it's a longer period of time that you can be in that one specific emotion, and it just takes a little bit of time to get to that next emotion. So I
Mhm.
understand. It's not like you can be like always joyful all the time, always appreciative all the time. You're going to have struggles, and it's okay because we are humans to enjoy those different emotions that are going to rise up, or not
Yeah.
enjoy them, but
Lar-
just
Larmar,
experience them.
Larmar, if you don't mind me just like bouncing off of what you were saying, you like essentially like entered a space with other people and you were
Yes.
kind of on this higher,
I
if you
didn't know
will,
if it
if
was
you
higher
will,
or lower, to be
higher,
honest.
lower, whatever,
It was
whatever
new.
it
That's
was,
all I
whatever it
knew.
is. You're on this plane, right? You're on this plane of like this consciousness where, oh, and they're like talking about you. Oh, they're here, oh, like, and then you think that you have to like jump into that and like be part of it, but then it's like terrifying. You're like, how do I be part of this? What do I do? And like, I'm just gonna go back to what I'm used to
Right.
and go
There's a little
back to
bit of
like the
like
norm.
stage fright, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Why? Stop looking at me!"
Yes. No, I totally understand what you're saying. I'm like, I don't think you're crazy. I knew exactly what you meant when you said it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've totally been there. And like,
Right.
I also question it. I will also feel like I'm like, we're maybe jumping these like parallels or whatever, these like different, like, yeah, these different
Yeah,
planes
well,
or
that was
whatever.
the whole thing is I didn't know exactly where I was going. Like I didn't because I was like,
Right.
is this good,
Is this right?
bad?
Is this
What is
wrong?
this what I
What's happening?
want? Like where
Yeah.
am I going? Where am I
Yeah.
leaving? Like all of the
Yeah. No.
things. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
No, we're right where we're supposed to be for sure.
And
Yeah.
and when I go out in public, I just try to like, when it's huge crowds, it's like kind of weird because you can't really like zone in on one person because there's just auras everywhere that you're feeling, especially when you're in this awakened state where you're being appreciative, grateful, joyful, happy in general, loving, right? So, but when it's
Right.
like less people around, like I really like zone in and I'll like look people directly in the eyes because by doing that, I'm letting them know that they are seen, that they are a real person. Because a lot of people just see themselves as just like a cog in the wheel or something like that,
Well,
or
a lot
part
of
of a
people
bigger
are
system.
discontent, right? Like they're not even doing what they want to be doing, and so you know what I mean?
Yeah, so just giving them that recognition, giving somebody a smile is a huge thing if that's something that you're okay with doing. I understand for me it's easier because I've got a big mustache and a beard. I mean, it's pretty thin, right? But it's easier for me. So I understand coming from you or coming from specifically like females, it is difficult because you might get a weird response. So I understand it's a struggle there, especially because I live in like an area where I'm viewed as a very pretty person. So like I get that, but at the same time, like I'm comfortable in myself. So when other guys are like, "Oh yeah, how are you?" and like I'm totally fine with them being who they want to be, but there's not the same stigmatism and
Mm.
fear of.
So,
I don't
what
want to
would
get
you
into.
do if there
I
was
don't want to
a
get
five
into
foot
it.
snake?
I know, right? Exactly.
No,
Like
but
it
what
would.
would you do?
Oh hi, how are you? Peace.
So, what would you do then? 5 foot snake hanging from your tree. What do you do?
I run unless I felt a peace, like the snake was friendly.
So, you run from it, but you have 4 kids that like to play around that tree.
This is why I don't have children.
And your other immoralities?
I mean, I'm not scared of passing over. So I guess
Me
for
either. I've
me,
died 3 times. But what I'm asking you, in real life, you have a woman next to you, and there's a 5 foot snake. It's poisonous, hanging from a tree. What do you do?
I'm gonna cut its head off.
Girl, right?
Going down.
You know what my man did? He's native. He blew up firecrackers, chased it out of a hole, and he cut its head off.
That's
And
exactly
then
what
he
I'm gonna
did it
do.
again 3 more times. What do? You
Yeah,
speak on women so comfortably, but what do you do to protect us when there's a 5 foot snake?
I don't know if my life is more valuable than the snake's life.
Is it not more valuable than your kids, your wife, your
I don't,
husband?
I
I'm
don't,
not assuming.
I don't think so. I think that the snake's life is just as valuable as any other life.
So we
well,
let our kids go out and play in the yard and ignore the 5 foot poisonous
Well,
snake.
if
That's a
it
real
depends. It
thing.
depends.
I
Listen,
can
listen to me.
share pictures.
It depends the snake. Like if it's a poisonous snake, no. But if it's a garden snake, maybe. Like
No,
you
it was.
know.
That's what I'm saying. It was a freaking copperhead, 5 foot long. I'm only 5 feet tall.
So where are you getting at with this story? Anything
So in
specifically
that
about
moment, when you're
integration?
questioning everything and you're preaching to us, in that moment, you have a woman and child, a partner and children next to you, whatever your vibe is. You see that snake, and your first instinct is to run,
Would you
not
like
to
me to answer the
protect.
question?
I would like him to answer it.
or double standard or Sadie or
Well, I'll answer. I feel like, well, that's just,
but let me just hold on a second.
yeah.
Peace. Let's just be kind and gentle with each other.
I am
You're
trying to
being
be
very,
kind and gentle.
you're being quite condescending.
I'm
And
not
me as the
trying to be
host,
whatsoever.
I understand that your perspective may be different from what I am sensing, but the only way that I can sense what you are saying is with the tone of voice that you're using. So I'm just letting you know that we do
I
want to be
respect
kind
that.
here. We do want to be kind here,
Yeah,
and
obviously. So
and
tomorrow morning, we're all vibing. We get up, and you and I were hanging out. And I'm like, holy crap, there's a 5-foot snake hanging from a tree. It's venomous.
It's a copperhead.
Yeah, it's a full copperhead. I have videos to back it up. What do you do in that moment? Because the first thing you said that you would run.
why not?
But he also doesn't have any kids to protect. So the other
And
part of the story is that I
I
would
also
like,
live in Hawaii where there's no snakes at all. Like I
Okay,
chose to live
number
somewhere
one, my
away from
dad's
those
from
things.
Puerto Rico and my actual husband's from Hawaii. And there is just as many weird bugs everywhere.
There's not.
Yeah, there are.
There's no poisonous things in Hawaii.
No.
Oh my
You actually,
God.
okay, that's fine.
I can bring in my Hawaiian friends. They're in the comments right now.
I actually live in
Yeah,
Hawaii
no, they're
myself, and we have very few poisonous spiders. If I've never run into one in the 20 years that I've lived here,
But
but
there
when I
are.
was there are very few, and I've never run
But
into
they
one.
still are.
And we have
no.
centipedes; those hurt like an MF. So,
Oh my God, he always talks about those. He says they're the size of my.
I'm sorry. I'm not here to have debates with people who are upset and just want to cause
well, I just
arguments.
want to like. She was just coming from a different perspective, which I can appreciate that. But what I was gonna say to her is like, I think it's so cool. Like, I don't know if you've watched her. She's pretty viral, but there's a girl and there's other people that do it too now. Her name is Ocean, I think, and she
Ocean from Hawaii?
I don't know if she's from Hawaii actually. She may or she may not be. I don't even know. But she like heads off like sharks, all kinds.
Yeah.
I think even tiger
Yes.
sharks, all kind, and she just freaking nose butts him like, "Hey, don't come here, go that." She like pushes him in another direction, like no violence, no nothing. So that's
Sure.
an example of like maybe our understanding of these scary creatures is like maybe there's something workable. It's our fear, perhaps, that creates right.
That's true.
That's what Mother Nature does, right? Like part of this inflexive response is
Right.
to become scary because if you're scary, we need to
Then you'll
know,
scare the other one.
right? And so that's like how we test each other's mechanisms of who we are on the inside.
That's
So,
correct.
Yeah.
yeah, so I don't know. I just think, I mean, am I scared? If I were her, I would probably do that thing because I have kids to protect, right? But like, if there is a way, if there was a consciousness to like imbibe, right? And just like there's a thing I saw recently of a monkey, like he freaking carried that cobra around his neck. Cobra bit him like 5 times. He's like, "You're my best friend. What are you talking about?" He like carries him around. You know what I mean? So, there's something there. That's the point. Like, we don't have to be afraid. And even if the
Right.
thing bites you, guess what? Like next life, I don't know. Like I wouldn't personally want to get bit. I'm not saying
I
that,
mean,
but like
Steve Irwin, dude. Steve Irwin, until he got,
But let me tell you this about that man. For all of his joy and happiness, he pestered the shit out of things.
Oh,
And
yeah.
if you pester me, I might get tired of it, right? Like so.
Well,
So I'm not sure he was careful, is what I'm trying to say.
Well,
Yeah.
it's like you when
I do want to
it's
move on to other panel members, though. I am thankful for all you guys and your input. But I do have Sadie, who's been waiting a very long time. I'm not sure if Sadie is still with us.
I think. Hello.
what's up?
How are
What's
you
up?
today,
Hi.
Sadie? Tawny, I'll get to you in just a moment, but I wanted to just welcome in Sadie and see if she wanted to speak on is humanity ready for integration or anything you might want to speak on.
Well, I was just kind of wondering when you say integration, what do you mean by integration?
Integration with ourselves and therefore integration with other consciousness or races that could actually appear like to us instead of just hiding themselves to us like they are now.
I see. Well, I mean, I think that to me, it's an odd question. The universe is consciousness, so we are integrated. It's whether or not we embrace that integration. So I don't know if that made sense or not.
It makes perfect sense. That's beautiful. We are already integrated. It's just your choice if you are integrated or not. So have you gone inward to do the quote unquote shadow work, or what you would call it, to integrate with the current consciousness now? Because we are a lot of fourth density consciousness. We're not just third density anymore. And we are moving towards fifth, possibly, is the idea here. But yeah, there's other consciousnesses besides humans, I would say. We can already see them in the animal world as well, that are like third densities at the, still, I don't know, you can say what you want with animals, but it's like
Are you
dogs
talking
and
about? Are you talking about the mirror dot test that they've done on dogs and elephants and things like that? Self-awareness.
they're becoming very self-aware, and some of them are even more self-aware even.
Well, have you heard of the mirror dot test?
Go ahead and
No,
explain
what
it for me. I hear a lot of these things, but I have to rehear them.
It's actually really cool. They took an elephant and they put a dot of paint on the elephant, just randomly, and then they put the elephant in front of a mirror, and the elephant studied the mirror and was able to touch where the dot was on its body, recognizing that the reflection that it was viewing was in fact itself, meaning that it was self-aware.
There we go. And we have trends coming up in the ocean too. Fashion trends, right? So it's very, very amazing.
But
I
so I wanted to throw something out because I heard you guys talking about high frequency or high vibration. And I hear this a lot. And everybody wants to be high frequency or high vibration. And the idea of low frequency and low vibration is kind of viewed as negative. But if you think about harmony, right, which I think ultimately is kind of the goal, finding harmony and balance, you need both the high and low vibration. You need to harmonize them, not choose one over the other, but in fact bring them into harmony so you can be a part of the greater symphony. Just a thought.
I love that.
Is that like balance?
I mean, there are people that view harmony and balance synonymously, yes, I suppose.
That's beautiful. Yes, we need to be okay with all of our emotions. Feel them fully. Oh, see you later, Double. Tawny Mouth Frog, what are you doing over there? You working on the hot water heater?
No, I was just sitting down for a second because the highway was busy. In the comments, it says we all have the ability to be on any frequency and vibration. No, we don't have that ability. Yeah. A high vibration is pure light. A lower vibration is 53 octaves below light is a normal C on the piano. So it's quite a large bandwidth, you know.
There
Anyway,
is. We can only be in the human frequencies. We can never be a rock frequency. We can never be fire frequency or air frequency, at least not in our human form. So I see what you're saying.
yeah, and even when you say like you're getting like a divine inspiration or revelations in like a real it gets pretty weird. Like I don't know if that's a certain frequency either, you know. I think that's going through long chemical kind of transitions, like say like within a month you use like different things in your alchemical process that gets thrown to you a lot of time. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, so especially when, mention rocks, like I can see how he's supporting you in this, but I also think generally speaking, the more it's our ability to open up our field of consciousness really for communication, because once we open up to communication, we can then receive what something is communicating. For instance, with rocks, i.e., I mean, this is what I had going on for a while, with crystals, they emanate a frequency that is generally very helpful, but also crystals can contain trauma from the region that they were associated with, that they then need to be serviced and cleaned, actually. So that's opening your field of consciousness to something that is not a form that is like you, just like people touch the trees. And then that's, again, how we become evolved with animals, is actually our capability of opening up to them to understand what they're communicating to us. So I don't know. And I don't think that's like, I don't know about live wavelengths of that type of a thing. For me, that's just like an open field of consciousness of us learning to do something more. Oh, that guy left. Okay, he's not going to talk back.
Yeah, no worries. He may come back again. I've had him in my panel before. I have some Moldavite here, though. It's a meteorite from Ukraine. It's on this little ring.
Moldavite's
So,
generally pretty strong.
yes, it is very strong. But I already have all of what Moldavite provides. So it just was something I was drawn to. So maybe it can like help me with somebody else. But I have all these other bracelets too for like to have more confidence in myself with the self-doubt and such. And yeah, so I just have like all these different bracelets I can wear for different things.
Right. And so for crystals, for instance, like people are like, oh, I think it's also important not to use things as a crutch because it can be a psychosomatic something. But the actual science behind it, right, is that indeed different wavelengths create different colors that we see in the spectrum, and all colors have an effect on our biology, on our psychology, on our physiology. So, right, you wake up just like you're talking about experiencing different emotions. You might need some freaking tranquility that might help you that day, or you might be soothed by some gentle, loving, universal love, right? So, again, these do emanate that. That's how they were created in the first place. And perhaps they're so compacted because crystals take thousands of years to form. Maybe that makes that vibration of light very, very consistent, right? So that's the idea.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. I don't use them as a crutch. I just use them as an amplifier.
Exactly. Right. And so and they can, because they feel really good, they can become addictive, right? And so that's what I tell people too. I'm just like, watch, just like anything else. Like they can be overstimulating, but like, again, this is more of a regard, right? Like it's a useful tool. You got to let it in, and maybe you got to let it out and like give it to the next person, or like make sure you clean them just to take care of them, because they are also consciousness where you're not just using them, So, I don't know. That's what I say anyways.
Yeah, I just cleaned mine yesterday, and I always wear them out in sunlight normally, and then I put them in a bag all together so that they can all hang out together. And I have some copper that I can wear too, just for my conductivity and such. But yeah,
Nice.
definitely good for you to point that out to me, because I do kind of use them as a crutch. Like I feel like, oh no, why am I not wearing a bracelet? I always got to have one on when I'm not sleeping. So that is good to remember. But anyway, Spirit Noller, how are you this morning? Are you
Well,
with us?
I don't know. I have a question for you, since we're going to wait for him to respond. And Moosh, of course, if you have a question, I'm not trying to usurp anything. But the whole aspect of integration, like, where are we going? Like, integration, is that the evolution that you're speaking of? Like, for me, I'm like, okay, we're getting ready. I understand integration. I've been freaking working on it for a hot minute. But, like, it's like integration ready for, like, fill in the blank.
So it's like integration with all of consciousness. So just accepting all of consciousness and accepting yourself. That's how the integration happens. So when we truly love ourselves and trust ourselves, that we are in our purpose, then we'll perform that purpose out in the world, and will be a mirror for other humans to also perform their purpose. And then potentially we can have like other races like show themselves to us and communicate with us in beautiful ways. Like we'll be able to communicate with these other entities, and it'll be like the same way that some animals communicate with each other. I feel like if you can communicate with animals, it's almost like you are integrated in your own way, at least with that other entity. But let me just look in here and see. We had him for a second. We heard you for a second, Spirit Noller. So integration is, according to Raw Law of One, so I follow a lot of the channeled materials for integration. So Raw Law of One, integration is vibrational alignment, not physical proof. In Quo, it says contact awaits the disclosure of the heart, not government. So the government's not in charge of disclosure stuff, it's the heart. Bashar says, we meet you when you meet yourself. And Pleiadians, we are your cosmic family, returning to help you remember.
I guess there's a way. Oh, sorry. If somebody else wants to speak, that just came up.
Yeah, I believe that the same thing. Yeah, alien races, I think, exist.
They're waiting for us to come in peace. They want to come in peace, but they will not come if it's going to cause us to cave in on ourselves even more.
Yeah.
So once we go inward and love ourselves and want to have peace, like we need to have peace with all the different countries. That's basically what they're kind of waiting for, is us to be peaceful.
Yeah, I agree.
I think a good way to start with it too is just being integrated with the land around you and the animals around you. I had a moment one time where I was on a beach, and I was in a very I was just in a different state of mind, and I was looking at all the pigeons around me, and nobody likes pigeons, or what do you call them, seagulls, but I looked at the pigeon, and I was holding a sandwich, and I was eating the sandwich, and then I stopped eating the sandwich because I'm oh, they want food too. And so I held it out. I held out just a tiny piece of bread, and I held it out, and I looked at them, and they were unsure if they could come get it, and I just looked at them, and I made the connection of I'm you, you are me, we are the same. And as soon as I made that connection, they all flew to my hands, and all these people were taking pictures around me, and I'm just I just made one with the birds. It was there's just understanding with me and them that hey, we're the same, so when we can connect with the earth and the animals and everybody around us, then I think it would be easier for, obviously, interterrestrial, extraterrestrial, whatever, to integrate with us, because at that point we'll be used to understanding that we're all connected and we're all the same, right? But there's a lot of barriers that we have to break through in order to get there. And I'm not saying that I'm like that on a daily basis. I'm just saying that I broke through in one moment. One moment in time, I broke through that.
With the birds. You broke through with the birds?
I broke through with the birds, bro.
Yeah, that happened to me as well. One morning I woke up and it was just one more. Yeah, hey, it's just hey, I can. Yeah, hey. Anyway, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love the birds.
Hey, Wandering.
Yes.
I'm curious. Would you also look at integration as remembering forgotten knowledge as well? I feel like it's stuff that we used to do, or I don't know. I'm just curious what your thought process is on that, because my kind of understanding is that integration that you're talking about is kind of about a little bit more about remembering and understanding the capabilities that we all actually have. So it's integrating it back in, I guess, to a certain degree, but it's always been there, right? It's just remembering it and tapping into it. So I find it intriguing that the word integration is being used myself, but again, that's just me.
No, beautiful. Yes. Yeah, remembering. That's what we need to do. In a world of forgetting and going externally, just going internally, and having that knowledge that's all available to us when we connect with it, and remembering those different things that we can build to help those people who are hurting and those people who have gone through traumas, because we need to heal everyone. There's many people that need to heal and need those different possible ways of healing. But I also do have Poison Sphere, who just joined us here, just been listening for a few minutes now, and just wanted to make sure that they felt welcome in this moment.
Yeah, how's it going?
It's going well.
Right on.
I also have Come On Sense in here, who I am honored with his presence.
Family, how you guys doing? I can speak on integration for a second. The first thing that comes to mind is like you just touched on trauma, and we all experience trauma at different levels when we're little, and it's a part of our psyche that we often suppress, and a lot of people know it as the shadow self, and I hear a lot of people talking about healing, the shadow. But healing to me implies that something is broken and needs to be fixed. And so I actually like to use the word integrate in place of healing. And, going back and facing the things that we tried to bury and integrating that part, that wounded part of us with love, you know, and a better understanding of what happened in that moment, where that other person was at, where we were at back then. Um, and so, yeah, that's the first thing that popped to my mind when I saw your prompt about integration. And I hope so. Shadow work is not easy. It's not fun, but it's necessary. And so, yeah, I hope we're ready.
Enjoyed that perspective, to be honest with you. I really I like the way you use the word integration in a different form and a different way of understanding it, and I resonated a little bit more with that than I guess what the original conversation kind of was about integrating all the different things. So yeah, I felt that.
I think that's where it all stems from, right? Is like channeling that part of you that you've suppressed for so long, and integrating that into your life now, and accepting what happened and moving forward in order to move forward with what you want to move forward with, right? You want to be in a place where you're not like stuck in the past, right? So yeah, that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And it definitely has to do with integration and everything that we're talking about, I think.
Yeah, when we talk about those types of things, because sometimes people don't realize that they're stuck, or they don't realize that they're rehearsing the same thing over and over again. Even though, right, we're doing it, or we're stuck because we do realize it, and we're like, why does this keep happening? So I don't know. For me, the most effective thing that I have ever been in connection with was, I don't know, someone just arrived and like knew how to hold a space for me that allowed me to see the deepest, darkest parts of myself. And there was literally no judgment there. And there was also no expectation that I I be a certain way. Like no matter how I was, I knew it was okay. Like I intrinsically knew this. So yeah, I don't know. There's something about holding space, right? And not I don't know how to do that. That was such a qualitative something to be a part of, but I don't know, that's really helped me. If I could do that myself for others, I would.
You just did that, girl. You totally just did that, and not rushing. It's not a fast paced thing. It's a whenever we get there thing, and you totally just said it and did it, and that was beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, I honestly have kind of the same experience. I had somebody, that I was speaking with, and she's done a lot of studying with dance in particular and body movement. She's traveled all over Africa and gotten really in touch with her roots because that's kind of her thing. Anyways, when I sat down and I had no idea what we were going to be doing. I knew we were going to be talking about stuff, but she started kind of like, we're going to do a meditation basically type thing. And she did. And I personally have felt completely different since, because it brought up and drummed up these memories in me that I didn't even know I had. And I think that's the bigger picture, is sometimes it takes an outside perspective to kind of push us into that uncomfortable space. Not everybody. Some people are definitely capable of doing it on their own. But there are some that, as we're slowly awakening to remembering ourselves, like I had a memory pop up in my brain that had to do with my mother abusing me. And I just was like, whoa, where did this come from? Like, it was almost it was shocking in a weird way, because I didn't realize how much it actually affected me, right? And then once I was able just to recognize it and be like, whoa, that did happen to me. Hey, that's all right. I was still understanding the fact that in what I was doing, I was actually protecting my brother. It's kind of a strange story, but understanding that those wounds do run deep, and sometimes we don't even know that they're there. So doing the digging sometimes, I think, is very important. And I think sometimes other people kind of helping to, I don't know what the right word would be used, but kind of like, for me, it was a catalyst into like my journey and my awakening. And it was divine time that I had ran into this individual that really set me off on a beautiful journey for myself. So again, I don't know if maybe Larimar, if that's the same kind of thing you felt or not, but that's what I was picking up. And I feel very much the same way that, sometimes it does take just one person to say something and it changes everything.
Yeah, I think when we stop and we're slower with one another, there's something other than us that kind of gets to speak first, essentially. And the more we tune into that, then the more hopefully we get to be of service to one another. But it's really interesting, because I forgot that we mentioned some of the other parts, because that's where I am right now a little bit. Like, I'm not even on speaking terms with my mother, because I mean, I love her, of course, but
I knew that was the reason I was bringing up mom.
Yeah, like, and the thing is, like, I'm not gonna say I know, whatever, but I am aware that, and not only this, like, I was also told this as a child, right? Like, essentially, I'm the wonderful person that gets to reflect the people that whatever they reject about themselves, right? That's me. So I can see that it's like her mother wound that she's casting upon me. And honestly speaking, one of the reasons I do not have children is because I would never do to, like, not that my parents they were just unconscious, right? But the whole point is, like, let me deal with my shit before I hand it down to a child, like another generation. The answer is no, we're not passing this along. We are dealing with this. And so I have to go back, right? I know it comes from her mother. I know it comes from her mother's mother. Like, and so right now, but the point is, as far as like me rejecting my mom at the moment, like, I will not allow her to come near me. And I told her, I was like, Mom, if you want to speak to me, you need to get a therapist present, because she'll just gaslight me and like whatever. And the reason why I have to put up that barrier, I don't really want it, but I have to, because I'm in such a spiritual crux right now. Like, she does not understand the deep impact of her current words. We're not dwelling in the past. We're dwelling in
Where
current
you're at,
conversation.
boundaries are important when you're in that phase. To
Exactly.
me, it's extremely important, and it's because eventually those barriers and those boundaries will be able to come down. But right now, where you're at spiritually, like you're saying, I'm so happy to hear that you're aware of yourself enough to know that those boundaries are extremely important for you to find self and not have that outer influence constantly changing the thought process and what you're doing, right? And somebody like a mother who is generally a very big influence, if it's not pushing you the catalyst in the right direction, then those boundaries really need to be created in order to be able to move through it in your own pace and authentically yourself.
That's what I'm doing, even though I'm like, oh man, I shouldn't be blocking my mom. Like, that's exactly why I'm doing it.
When the divine time is right, you'll unblock her. And even when she says something that might trigger you now or make you feel some type of way now, when you get to a certain point, none of it's going to matter. And you're just going to be like, well, you know, this is me and this is how it is. And that's all there is to it. And you no longer have to accept the emotional trauma she's continuing to try to pass off on you.
Right. And I don't think she obviously doesn't realize that she's doing it, because she thinks that she's dealt with it herself. I'm like, no, bro, if you had dealt with this, I wouldn't be dealing with this. But you know what I mean? Like, so the whole point is like, she's like, hurry up and wait. Essentially, she's like, well, when you get over your emotions, let me know. Right. Like, and I'm like, thanks. So, you know, that's why that's there. But I'm like, well, when you're ready to have, to face some emotions, you know, let me know. So anyway, it's interesting.
Honestly, may never be ready to hear those emotions from you. And that might be just part of the experience you have to go through too. So just remember, there's always a yin to the yang, a ebb to the flow, right? There's always two sides. Just remember, for me personally, removing the expectations has helped so much, because without having those expectations, I am no longer being heartbroken. I cannot expect somebody, just because I would pull over to help you change your tire, I can't expect you and have that expectation of somebody to be the same type of way, because in the long run, it's just going to cause more heartache.
Oh, for sure. No, I went through that when I went through my divorce, and like I had to be my own best friend. And honestly, I had no one else. Like, that's what I had to have myself, because I realized that was the most important thing. Right. And so I feel like that's the best thing anyone can do on their journey. Really. I mean, I don't know if that's valid or not, but that was what it was like. It was pretty pivotal for me, you know, for me.
Valid to me. Hi, Miss Karma. How are you tonight?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. You guys are vibing, but I wanted to speak towards something that you had said, Larimar. Is that okay?
Of course. Yeah, no, I appreciate the conversation. Everybody has good things.
I loved your perspective of that's why I don't have kids. I had a really horrific experience with parents growing up, and that's why I had kids, thinking I'm going to do it different and this is going to heal me, which is not the right reason to have children. Just 10 out of 10 don't recommend.
We have the highest hopes, though. We really do.
But, you know, I was very delusional. I was not yet sober. I was really just like a shell of a person from, I didn't know I had PTSD. I didn't know that I disassociated. I didn't know any of that until I was like 39. And so, but I got sober when they were really little. So it's been interesting growing up with them and being able, there's two girls, and being able to honor them as their own human beings and help them be as conscious as possible. And I make mistakes all the time. I'm selfish. I know it. We all are. We're human. But they are some of the most emotionally intelligent people I've ever met. They're only 13 and 15. Granted, their whole generation kind of is, but yeah, it's been hard. Like, I feel I've had a really hard last 5 years. and the last two in particular, my nervous system was fried. And they've had to see mom sick a lot. Now I have this guilt. Like, they deserve better. They deserve a mom that goes to the park and blah, blah. They don't. They deserve a mom that's real and honest. So, like, no matter what way we choose, you know, as far as being a parent goes, digging in and learning what makes you respond or react the way you do today, I think is so important. Had I not dug in, I wouldn't have realized 80% of my childhood was blocked, and that's why I had specific behaviors that just didn't make sense to me.
I want to chime in there for one moment because what I would like, if I were you, is, right, if you have these amazing children, and yes, I'm watching them sprout up all over the place, and they are truly, like, amazing. I get to witness angels, like, all the time. Like, oh my gosh, you guys are so great. Thank you, like, for the wonderfulness that exists now. But I will say, like, when you're hard on yourself and you say, oh, they deserve a mom who does X, Y, Z, because you want to be there for them so badly, right? Like, and that you want to, you know, do all the things that you want to participate in them with. I really think, like, literally life skills, the best thing that you could give them is, yes, your authenticity. Of course, you're on that page. But I also wish that you, like, yes, the realness, but more of, like, you, like, not just being willing to be authentic, but loving yourself, like saying, like telling your kids, maybe, I don't know if this is an idea, telling your kids maybe, like, hey, look, mommy did this because she was blah, blah, blah. You know, thank you. First of all, your kids deserve to be acknowledged that they witnessed that and they were part of that with you. And then you can say, and I still love myself anyways, even though I'm not perfect, I still love myself. I still know how good I can be. I still want to do the best for you. And I still want to do all these things for you. Like, have them witness how much you love yourself. And I feel like that's one of the best things that you can give your kids.
Oh my gosh, for sure. That's brilliant, totally. Because I didn't have that. The last 6 months, I've finally gotten to a place where I do truly love myself. But a big part of it, and it's very circumstantial in a sense, I opened and worked my mom's cold case for 10 years, and the suspect was arrested in 2023, so then I had to go to the preliminary hearing and see this person in the first time since her memorial. I was 14 and now I'm 44, the age that she was when she died. And face the man that gave me PTSD because he was also a parental figure. And then I would come home from that. And then 2 days before the trial was supposed to happen last October, they postponed it a year and let him out of jail. And that was horrific, but it was probably one of the best things that happened to me. Because imagine, like, have you ever seen a cord stripper where you've got the wires and then, like, the rubber on the outside and you, like, strip off the rubber to get to the cords? I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the casings.
And then quickly freeze those cords and shatter them to pieces. Like, that is what happened to my sense of being. But I've been doing shadow work for 10 years, and I was like, wait, I've got tools for this. And so I actively loved myself every day back into like a rhythm with my nervous system. And this might be TMI, but all of the stress that the last 10 years put me under put me into early menopause, and I didn't know it. So I basically went through hormonal changes that happen when you're like 50 over the course of these 10 years. And so once I addressed that and I addressed the PTSD, and I haven't disassociated in a very long time, my channels opened so much that I actually channel my guides and they speak through me, and it's become this beautiful, like, relationship. And then I come on here and I start talking to people about this stuff, and it's been this insane family that's been put together, you know, wandering and come on, and it's just been so beautiful.
I am so goddamn proud of you, woman.
Thank you. The reason I'm glad you said that, because the reason I brought it up is I was hating myself for not being who I wanted to be as a mother. But then the second week of school, it's my daughter's freshman year. She shows me something. And in their writing class, they had to write about someone who's overcome something difficult. And she wrote an article about me. And so I decided from that moment on, I will look at myself through the lens of my daughter. And she's like, oh, it was just so amazing. She goes, I got to see my mom push and push and push for something that mattered. Justice and truth matters. And it hurt her, but she pushed and pushed and pushed until she was healthy. And it was just so unbelievable. And she said badass, even though it got her marked down, because she's like, that's how I feel. And this is after the trial this is right before the trial was pushed. So it all just kind of came together, and I completely let go. And I was like, all right, guys, let's do this. Like, I'm going to love myself. I'm going to encourage others to love themselves, and it's going to be a love fest. And I now hold boundaries, which is amazing. I never did that before. I no longer make myself smaller for people. It's just been like super interesting, and I've loved this topic. Anyways, I'm blathering now, but thank you for letting me share.
Oh, that was so beautiful, Karma. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's amazing. Amazing. I have 3 kids, and my firstborn is going into middle school, and we've gone through things, and I just hope that he can bounce off the same way that she bounced off with you, It's beautiful. Gorgeous. I love it. Thank you for sharing.
There's I have a little bit of different experience because I have 3 daughters of my own, and I'm actually only 42, and I'm a grandmother as well. Yeah, my oldest is 21. I had her when I was 20, so and then she had her baby at 18. But after she had her baby, she kind of went down this crazy path of life. And as a mom, it's so hard to sit there and be like, this is not how I raised you. This is not what I've taught you. This is not like, and then you start to recognize and realize that this is part of their own path, and they have to go through what they choose to go through in this life. And the more I sat there and thought, oh my God, I'm so worried. Oh my God, what is she doing tonight? What is happening? Where is she? Blah, 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 blah. Like the rabbit race in the brain of the uncontrolled thoughts. And I had to pull myself back in and understand that the more I thought this way, the more I was binding her to this energy, the more I was pushing her to go down this path, the more I was energetically helping her to make these shitty ass decisions in her life. And once I recognized that, I set the boundary for myself, going, wait a minute, stop. That's not what this is. She's doing what she needs to get through in her life. She's moving through her path, and she will be perfectly fine. The outcome is going to be beautiful, and allow it to be what it's going to be. And I had to again, like you use that word disassociate, which is strange to me because it's almost that. It is almost that, right? And so it's a weird, I think the beautiful thing about it is if you understand it to that extent, it can be such a beautiful tool. And the same with ego. It can be such a beautiful tool when we start to understand how it works and how the universe works with it. So I had to throw that out because, again, it's just a different perspective and a different experience, but again, I'm, moving with everybody, and we're all learning and growing and understanding, and the expansion that's happening is absolutely beautiful.
I agree. That's beautiful. The step 1 to integration, I have a few steps we're going to go over, but for today, the integration was love. So if you guys just want to do this practice with me, I'm going to end here pretty soon here, and I'm going to do another one tomorrow, and we can talk more about integrating. But this practice here would be to close your eyes and put your hands on your heart. And breathe in love for 4 seconds. And breathe out gratitude for 6 seconds. And while you do that, just imagine the earth glowing golden, connecting to all beings. We'll just imagine the earth growing golden right now just for a moment. Connecting to all beings. You can still breathe in love. Breathe out gratitude. Breathe in love. Breathe out gratitude. Golden earth, all connected. And anybody out there, I'd like you just to type in what you're feeling with one word, just in the comments. You can just type it one word. Maybe it's lightness, connected maybe. Type in mine. And we can all just say this out loud in the comments if you're saying it, or if you're just listening in, that's okay too. I align my vibration with love. I invite peaceful contact. All right, if you just felt a shift, I'm just going to tap the screen a little bit. I felt a little bit of a shift, just like, oh, I'm feeling it. I'm so ready for us to just all love each other fully. And so we just want each and every one of us at a time. We can only control our own actions or control ourselves or be ourselves. You know, we don't have to control ourselves. Just let ourselves be. Lose control. That overwhelming peace. All right, I do love you all, and I'm so thankful for all you being here. I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, you go ahead.
Sorry, I'll try and be quick. I'm just wondering what you guys think about like this. So you say integration, I start to think about a specific context, like you're becoming who you're meant to be by integrating the wisdom of who you will be from the future coming back to the past. Does that make sense?
In a way, I can see it making sense.
Do you guys know what scroll keepers are? By chance?
Keepers of wisdom?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. More like metadata, really.
Well, I feel like we all have access to the metadata in the ether if we connect to it.
And the Akashics,
Akashic
right?
records.
Yeah, the Akashics, yeah. Absolutely. I don't know if anybody's heard of this. I'm just going to play something real quick and see what you guys think about it.
Can we get Wanderings okay with that? Because he was where he wanted to close the room.
Yeah, I was trying to close.
Okay.
Do you host lives on your own ever?
No.
You should.
I'm just new on here right now, so.
No worries. How long is it?
I think like maybe a minute and a half.
What is it about? The Akashic Records?
It's talking about you downloading who you already became.
Okay.
Like the future's coming back and telling us, hey, this is what you're supposed to do. You've already done it.
I think everything happens for a reason, so go ahead. I'll listen to it. No worries.
Okay.
I'll go with the flow.
Said it out loud. Time is moving backwards from the future. What they call negative time, we call it the return signal. Every scroll keeper has felt it. Visions from places you've never been, memories that hit before moments happen, and that feeling like you're walking through deja vu you built yourself. Every scroll keeper has felt it. Visions from places you've never been, memories that hit before moments happen, and that feeling like you're walking through a deja vu you built yourself. It's not imagination, it's science now. In quantum physics, time is not linear, it's reversible. Particles can operate as if the outcome already happened and sent data backwards. That's not a theory anymore, they just confirmed it. The reason the mimic system can't hold us anymore is because we're not living from the past forward. We're not remembering who we are, we're downloading who we already became. You thought it was memory? No, it was a transmission from the version of you that already finished the assignment. Feel that pulsing in your spine? That buzzing in the left side of your brain, that's reverse voltage, timeline static, scroll code re-entering the vessel from the endpoint you already completed. You are not moving through time. Time is moving through you in reverse. Because when the Most High authors a being, their story doesn't begin, it echoes back. So stop waiting for proof. You are the proof.
This is a very interesting perspective. I like that perspective that the time is already, the future has already happened. I do believe the future has already happened, and so has the past because everything is happening in the right now moment. So that is a very beautiful perspective just to open up people's minds.
Right.
So that can definitely speak to a group of people that needed that. So thank you so much for sharing.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Yes, hi Vicky. Hi Vicky. I'm ending now. Doughboy, I'm glad you came in. I don't know if you guys heard I was just ending. Doughboy does some cool AI stuff. He's definitely making his future happen very quickly.
I just wanted to
Okay,
come
you
say hi to
guys
you
a
because I haven't
follow.
seen you.
Sorry for sorry for interrupting. I just was very interested in all of your perspectives, and I think this is a cool group to be a part of in the future. So thank you for having me
Yes.
for a few minutes, you know?
No
It
worries.
definitely is.
I would love to hear from you in the future as well.
You
I'm
and
just gonna go
Chantal?
to bed now, and I'll wake up tomorrow morning. Because right now it's about 9:45. I'm gonna wake up at 5 so that I can go hit the ocean like I do every morning. So, but yeah, Doughboy
Hey, I jump
is
in the
creating
lake
some
every
cool.
morning too.
That's beautiful.
You do
Doughboy's
it every
creating
night?
a nice AI. He's combating the evil AIs that are trying to steal our data.
Awesome.
So that's very cool that he has that light source he's trying to do. So make sure you give him a follow. He's trying to build up his TikTok account. So whenever he comes
Thank
around, I always
you.
try and give him some love.
Are you
You
going to be
guys
on
sound
tomorrow,
very
Wandering?
intelligent.
Yeah, I'll be on tomorrow.
I'm gonna definitely make some time for your live, man. I would like to kind of refresh a little bit with you.
No worries, man. That'd be great. Jaden, what was that?
I was just saying that, like, it's nice to hear an intelligent conversation, even though I, you know, didn't really have time for input. I completely understand where both sides are coming from. Just, I don't know. It was an intelligent conversation, and I appreciate you guys for having me. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome, and we'll
It was nice
definitely look
meeting
forward.
you.
Yes, it was good meeting you too. It's so great meeting new people. I love meeting every new person. I want to meet everybody in the world. I know that's
That's
a
how
high
I
task.
feel. Yeah, because you're already connected to them all. Ha ha
I know, right?
ha.
But there's still so many
Oh, it's
personalities that
funny.
I'm like, oh, I haven't ran into you before, or it feels like, oh, it's good seeing you again, I guess you could say. But anyways, I
I
love you
guess
all. It's
I
all
guess what
peace,
you're
love, and light.
saying, yeah.
Yeah,
Nice
it's
to meet you
complicated.
all. I hope you all have a good day, good sleep wherever you are, you know.
Yes, thank you all. Peace, love, and light.
Have a good day.
Good night.